Top of the morning, you heard me? Top of the morning, you heard me? And of course, it's a blessed morning. I woke up refreshed. You heard me? Showered up, powered up, prayed up because that's the only way up. And of course, I got to go here because, and I ain't lying, it's time, bro. It's time, you heard me? Because it's a time and a season for everything. Yeah, listen, bro. It's a time and a season for everything. In I don't want nobody to panic, bro, but God in control, you heard me? God in control. He always gonna be. He always will be. You heard me? In it's like this, man. Cause I gotta go here. You know, like God. I keep telling y'all this, and I stress this to you because it's a lot of people. You know, God is love, but God is a God of love. He's a God of peace. He's also a God of war. That's why you don't want to play with him. See, you don't want to play with God, Jeremy. Yeah, see, either you gonna be real with him or God will show you who God is. And of course in the Bible say all power belongs to God. So everybody that's in power, God put them in that position. You get beside yourself, do something that God don't want done, and you think you God, he'll get you out of that position. So I'm going here because it's a time and a season for everything, man. I read in a book. I don't know what book I read in, but first let me get this straight. I'm a firm believer in Jesus Christ. I'm a Christian. You heard me? I really do unto others as I want done unto myself. And of course, like I ain't perfect, but I'm real every day. I'm going here because I done read books. I've even read some of the Quran. And in the Quran, I think it was a one book I read. It say sometimes it's war then peace. Sometimes it's war then peace. And God is always in control, man. It's a time and a season for everything. Let me go to Ecclesiastes. I'm gonna go to Ecclesiastes, third chapter. It said to everything, third chapter, first verse, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the sun. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. A time to rend and a time to sow. A time to keep silence and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. Amen. That's Ecclesiastes 3rd chapter all the way to verse 8. You heard me? I'm going here. You heard me? Let me tell you something. It's a time and a season for everything. You heard me? Anything going on, God wants that to go on. Amen? And of course, you got to know this. You heard me? Let me tell you something about God. You heard me? See, a lot of people not understanding. I'm giving it to them, but I think they hearing, but they ain't listening because they not knowing how real God is. But he gonna show you. You heard me? God is he said, this is what he said in the word. This is what God said, man. God said the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. Like the rivers of the water, he turned it whichever way he wished. The king's heart is in the hands of the Lord. Like the rivers of the water, he turned it whichever way he wished. He talking about not just the kings. They had kings back then, but the leaders of the world, bro. People in high places. God in control of these people's hearts, man. I don't care who they is. The president of the United States, all these leaders across the world, God is in control of their heart. God get these people this and put this in these people's heart, man. He knew what was going to happen before it happened. That's why I tell you, man, like, no matter what man see. You heard me? Man, look at the outside appearance. God know the heart. God raised you up for certain things because he know your heart. God created you. You know how people like, my mom and daddy created me. They did. God lined them people up to fall in love so they could love each other to make you. God know what he was doing. God always was in control. You could go to the beginning of time. Even when King Solomon, when he got beside himself. You heard me? It say in the Bible, God stirred up an enemy. Stirred up an enemy for Solomon. and stirred up a whole nother enemies for Solomon. They joined forces on Solomon. You heard me? God stirred up enemies on this man because he went against God's judgment and he started committing adultery because God told him don't mess with all them women. You heard me? Yeah, like you gotta know this. You heard me? God in control. And I'm going here because a lot of people I be seeing them panicking. You know, man, God is a God of love. He's a God of peace, but he's a God of war. If you really read the Bible, see, I do a little reading out here, but this God is my witness. You can ask dudes who hated me when I was in prison. You can ask them. I used to literally read my Bible every day for the last 5 years for 2 to 3 hours a day. Read it, you heard me? And I know they got stories in there, and God brought stories to me to where, like, when I lock in with the story, he'll give me something extra out of it, like a revelation of how it didn't happen. But that's another level, you heard me? I be knowing that people need to hear a word from God, though. You heard me? To where, like, man, listen, God in control, man. God in control. If God didn't want certain people to be adversaries, it wouldn't be. Listen to what God say in the word. This is what he say. He said, when the man ways please the Lord, he make even his enemies be at peace with him. When the man ways please the Lord, he make even his enemies be at peace. God in control of this the whole time. When you get beside yourself, God stir up enemies to humble you. He do it, bro. Like, and he'll let them win just so so you can humble yourself. See, let me give you the game with God, Jeremy. This is why you better stay humble at all times and watch how you treat people. See, when God do you something, this is when you going to know this God work. Not just because it's going to come out of nowhere. It's going to be something that happened that you really don't want to happen. You really don't want this to happen, and God gotta humble you. God gotta humble you, man. Listen, bro. God know you personally, so whatever you really don't want to happen, it's gonna happen. To show you God, he got the last say so, you can't do what you want to people. And if that don't break it, it's gonna get worse. You heard me? You gotta watch that, man. Don't have respect to person, man. Don't do that. Respect everybody. You heard me? Don't treat this person right because they got a Mercedes Benz and this person got a Toyota. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, see me, I'm going straight off the vibe. I'm gonna go off the vibe, me. I'm not gonna get on your type of time when you disrespectful and you tripping. And I ain't definitely not gonna let you run over me. I mean, I know when it's to stand up and when it's time to stand up too, but it's like this, you heard me? We gotta learn to respect each other, you heard me? We gotta respect each other, and we gotta watch having respect the persons. We gotta watch. We gotta learn to respect everybody, man. Just cause somebody going through a season, and he hurting right now, don't mean you look down on him. Cause I could tell you this, you heard me? The Lord to give it and the Lord to take away. You heard me? The Lord to give it, the Lord to take away. But that's another level. Where I'm going at is here, bruh. It's a time and a season for everything. And just know God in control, bro, the whole time. He in control, you heard me? You know what I'm saying? God got everybody in the position he want them in. Because this the position that he want them in. You heard me? It don't matter what a man wants you at. It don't matter where they want you at. When God see you fit to be in that position, you going to get in that position. You heard me? All power belong to God. The only reason anybody in position of power, God want them there, he know their heart. They going to make the decisions that God want them to make. God in control, man. Know this. So, before you get on whatever you on, and this dude doing this, and man, God know Donald Trump was going to do that. He got Donald Trump in that position. You heard me? And it is what it is. You heard me? It's all in the Bible. They're going to have wars and stuff. You heard me? It go down like that. Best thing we could do right now, pray to God. God in control. Pray for your president. Pray for him. Pray for him. Pray that he be protected, that he make the right decisions for America. Pray for him. You heard me? I always pray for the people in authority, me. You got to pray for him. You heard me? Because guess what? Decisions got to get made. They the decider. We stay in America. We stay in this country. You heard me? So just pray for the leaders of the world. Amen. And pray for peace, but prepare for war. You heard me? Yeah, and I ain't talking about no regular, I'm talking about a spiritual war, man. You heard me? A spiritual war. You heard me? So just know this, you heard me? They say the desires of the righteous shall be granted. Listen. But what the wicked fear should come upon them. The desires of the righteous shall be granted. But what the wicked fear should come upon them. Amen. So what side of the fence you on? You heard me? So, yeah. So, be mindful of that and continue to know that God in control. And there's a time and a season for everything. Amen. Stay up. Stay focused, you heard me? I love all y'all. One.